Hello everyone! Today I effed up subreddit. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel because I really want to get to 90 subscribers as soon as possible. The first story is by Elegant Shoshon. Today I effed up by freaking out my girlfriend's co-workers by taking her out to lunch. Last Friday, I had the day off work and decided to surprise my girlfriend at her job by stopping in to take her out to lunch, as her shift was about done. She works at a very large and popular wholesale store that has hot dogs. She told me beforehand that I could come see her at work anytime and there would be no trouble. I walked in front door and walked past the card checker girl. She did a double take and asked if I work here. I replied, "No, I don't. I am here to see an employee, however. I'm looking for Katie in marketing." She sheepishly got her radio and said, "Management to front entrance, non-emergency." A manager with the largest tablet I have ever seen strapped to her arm walked up and I explained again why I was there. She called for my girlfriend on the radio, but she was not near her radio. I apparently kicked the hornet's nest and I could hear chatter on other employees' radios. "Who's that guy here to see Katie? Are we being audited? He looks important. Guys, look busy." I got glances from just about every worker nearby and I could feel them trying to figure me out. It was at this time my girlfriend got back to her radio and heard the commotion and stepped out of her office and made eye contact with me. She wrapped up her work and we went out to lunch finally. I asked her why there was such a ruckus. She said that I dress nicely and I am very polite, which are characteristics of a corporate rep who comes to fire. That's when she also admitted to me that sometimes I have butthole resting face. I guess I need to smile more. I guess you do. I love this story. But in the end, only customers won because they had extra hard-working people that day. The next story is by Without Dennis Nerdy. Today I effed up by confirming for the flight attendant that I am a reverend. This happened about this time last year. I was across the country attending the funeral of my cousin who had passed from COVID and had used my vacation savings to purchase first-class plane tickets for my journey. It was not the fun vacation I had saved for, but I was glad that I stashed enough to shell out for the good seats, as I was in absolutely crap mood and just wanted a little bit of comfort for myself in such an emotional time. I'm on the 4.5-hour section of my trip home and we are just getting up to cruising altitude when I notice a bit of commotion at the back of the plane. I'm not in the mood for drama, so I ignore it and put my headphones on to listen to some true crime podcasts. I am started to doze off to unaliving and mayhem when I get a tap on my shoulder. Looking up, I see a flight attendant motioning for me to remove my headphones with "please" hands. I slide them off one ear and she says, "I'm sorry, miss, but are you flying under the honorific of Reverend? Are you a minister of some sort?" A little background time. Way back in 2000, my sister was getting married in a secular ceremony and asked me to officiate. So I got my official ordination credentials through Universal Life Church for that purpose. Since then, I have actually married 6 couples over the years, so it's been a super handy thing to have. Annoyed that the only non-binary honorifics available when purchasing a plane ticket through most US airlines are doctor and reverend, I always choose the reverend option when I fly. Why we even still require such titles for air travel when you already, understandably, have to state your gender to purchase a ticket is beyond me. That's for another day. Back to the flight. I'm confused by what the flight attendant is asking. I'm thinking maybe she has a religious question, and even though I'm an atheist, I do have an advanced degree in religious studies and one in philosophy and can and will happily talk theology most days. Or maybe she has a question about getting credentials like I did. Curious, I answer to the affirmative. She follows up by asking, "Can you please follow me?" and motions to do so. Oh crap, I think. What if someone is dying and they want last rites or something? I'm clearly not a priest. I don't know what I was thinking. Now I'm really confused, and since my headphones are off, I can hear a stifled wailing from somewhere behind me. I get up and follow as she and I walk to the back of the plane. At the very last row, there is a woman in clear distress with a few other passengers and another decidedly annoyed-looking flight attendant around her. The flight attendant I'm following turns to me and says, "This woman says she's in spiritual crisis and asks us to find out if anyone on the plane is a minister or a deacon or something similar. We looked at the manifest and saw Rav in front of your name and wondered if you could please help calm her down." As she's saying this, the lady, I'd say around 65 or so, looks at me with puffy eyes and a red face, and she just looks so sad. I'm kind of on the spot here. If I say no, I really feel like this woman is going to continue to carry on making everyone's flight miserable. But at the same time, she's not my responsibility. I'm not the kind of practicing reverend I'm sure she's looking for. I'm a freaking atheist. I feel like I'd be misleading her to step in. There is something very disingenuous about thinking my college degree would come close to the work a real religious leader does for people. I don't want to get involved in the level of potential crazy that is a public crisis on an airplane, of all places. I really just want to be left alone and not to drag into an in-flight telenovela. I look at the flight attendant and tell her, "I'm sorry, I'm a reverend in name only, and I don't think I'm what they need." She looks pretty dejected and says she understands, but really, the woman just needs someone to talk to, as she's coming back from her son's funeral. She says I'm free to go back to my seat, of course, and she'll let the lady know I can't help her. Y'all, my heart broke for the woman. Maybe it was because I was dealing with my own grief, or because the lady just looked so broken, but I really felt for her. I leaned over the seat in front of her and told her I was not a real practicing reverend, but if she just needed someone to listen to her, I'm all ears. I spent the rest of my flight in her husband's seat, and he got to sit in mine in the first class. He looked like he maybe needed it more than I did, to be honest. Her name was Lydia, and she talked my ear off about her son for 4 more hours. We laughed, we cried. I really wanted to just sit in peace in my own seat and ignore the world, but I'm glad I could be there for Lydia. She was just overwhelmed, and it all came spilling out when she least expected it. I totally get it. Anyway, had the flight attendant told me what was going on before taking me down the plane to Misery Wheel, I would have immediately let her know I couldn't help. I wonder if it had been someone with doctor in front of their name and the medical emergency was happening, if the flight attendant would have sprung someone in cardiac arrest on a physicist or a classical history professor. Sound like a Monty Python sketch, lol. Oh, it's such a sad but heartwarming story, because I'm so glad that there are fake reverends who can really help people. The next story is by Dorgay Kid. Today I effed up by getting banned from McDonald's. For the past few months, I'd been taking advantage of a promotional deal through the McDonald's app, where one can snag their breakfast sandwich for a mere $1.50, a significant markdown from its usual price of $4.89. A steal, right? These deals, as many of you might know, are often used as loss leaders by companies to draw customers in, with the hope that they'll purchase additional items at regular prices. However, my transactions with McDonald's were purely transactional. I was there for the deal and nothing else. My order history was a monotonous stream of $1.50 breakfast sandwiches and nothing more. To me, it was a way of maximizing value from a company that surely wouldn't miss a few dollars here and there, especially given their billion-dollar revenue. But it seems my frugal tactics caught the eye of the McDonald's account review team. This morning, as I attempted to log in and claim my daily dose of discounted breakfast, I was met with a message that struck me as both absurd and slightly flattering. My account had been banned for overdoing their promotional deals. At first I thought it was a mistake. How could taking advantage of a deal they offered could be considered overdoing? It's not as if I'd hacked the system or used illicit means to claim the offer. It was there, in the app, available for everyone to use, yet here I am, cast out of the Golden Arches digital embrace, all because I relished their deal a bit too enthusiastically. What puzzles me is the precedent this sets. Where do we draw the line between making the most of a promotional offer and overdoing it? If a company offers a deal, should there not be an expectation that customers will in fact use it? And if that usage is deemed too frequent, does that not reflect a flaw in the promotional strategy rather than customer misconduct? I think it does, because the easiest thing to do would be just to set a limit of how many times you can use that offer, and that's it. Well, anyway, thank you for listening. Please come back for more, subscribe, like the video. You can also watch that awesome video or this awesome playlist. See you next time!